Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day and showing you my new do, which is the same as the old do. It's just shorter, you see? Oh, this ought to be funny. See what the back of my head looks like. Anyhow, I'm actually dropping in not just to show you the new do, but I wanted to talk to you about the excitement that we had here last night, here on this little section of Route 6, located for your convenience near Conneaut Lake, Pennsylvania. I got up to use the facilities, as I do. It was about 1:30 in the morning, and I couldn't help but notice when I got out of bed to use said facilities, Perpetual was nowhere to be found. I thought he was maybe abducted by an alien or something like that. I honestly had no clue what was going on. So I used the bathroom, and of course I'm yelling, "Joel, where are you?" whatever. And I looked out and couldn't help but notice that there was some heavy equipment out here, some police lights, some flashing, some things, you know, helicopters. I'm kidding, there were no helicopters, ladies and gentlemen. It just sounded more dramatic. So what happened was, evidently a person was driving along on a crotch rocket heading east. Yeah. On Route 6, went right up the road here. I don't really know how far away. I'm going to say 50 to 100 yards away, okay, ladies and gentlemen. He made contact with a deer. He remained on the motorcycle, on the crotch rocket, until... well, like, he was sliding down Route 6, evidently, and then he became separated from the motorcycle here at the end of our driveway. Like, you have to see what a driveway looks like. You've never seen one in your life, I'm sure. Yeah, and what happened was everybody was looking for this victim of the motorcycle incident. Flashlights were being utilized, a really powerful one that I got for Perpetual that he absolutely adores. He can't say enough good things about it. Evidently, it charges up cell phones and it rejuvenates itself. You know, I have to fiddle, ladies and gentlemen. It's part of my charm. Just pretend. Yeah, so he was out using that. Evidently, his flashlight was better than the police officer's flashlight, and he was bragging about it. It was very cute. Looking for the man, looking for the person, whoever might have hit this deer, which they really didn't. Okay, I don't want to jump ahead too much. So they're looking wildly when suddenly a woman pulls up. She's a kid, you know, I've known her since she was born, but she is a grown woman, so I'm just going to call her a woman. She pulled up and said, if you're looking for the person who had the motorcycle incident, I have just taken him to Meadville upon his request. Everybody's emotions were running high and so forth. Hang on. A vehicle was coming down the road, so I thought I'd, you know, pause for a minute. Everybody's emotions were running high. Sometimes you don't think straight when something like this happens. The guy, she got out of bed and came down her driveway in her car. And I think this is how this unfolded. And, you know, are you okay? Whatever, let me call 911. He said, no way, Jose, do not do it. Take me to Meadville Hospital. Or not Meadville Hospital, just Meadville to his house or something. So she was a little bit nervous about it, but thought, okay, I'll do it. So when she came back through and was explaining, so then she got nervous that she was going to get in trouble, and the police and everybody reassured her they're not going to do a thing to the poor woman. It was just one of those deals where maybe the correct judgment might have not have been used, but for heaven's sakes, everybody was in a panic. So meanwhile, as they're looking for, prior to all this, as they're still looking for this individual who had the accident, Perpetual couldn't help but notice the deer was still alive and suffering. So he said, you need to take care of that deer. And the officer was a little bit hesitant, I think, but he did. He took care of the deer. Perpetual was pretty firm about having that deer put out of its misery. And so it did work. And then they're like, do you want to keep it for meat or whatever? And he's like, it's 2 in the morning. I have to work tomorrow. I can see him like hanging a deer up or whatever you do. Okay, so he didn't do it. But the deer's dead. It was put out of its misery. And life went on. That motorcycle ended up between the two properties here. And the wallet, ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman's wallet was on the road, so there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, as the song goes. So they know who he is, they know what happened. The neighbor, the young lady who took care, like drove him in, said that it didn't stink like alcohol, there wasn't anything like that, but evidently he didn't have insurance or what have you. Boy, I'm having a hot flash. And it's actually nice out today. Ooh. Okay, so that's what happened last night. I think that's all I have to report. Just thought I'd get that out there and let you know. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day and while having a hot flash. Join me, join others. Drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door. Research before you judge. And remember, war is a racket. Don't take my word for it. Check out General Smedley Butler and what he had to say. Holy Ghost, hold me.